Okay, so hello everyone. I am Fatima Azam. I'm the community manager for Ejad Labs, and I'm also a student at NUST. Today, I am here with Farida Kaval and Muhammad Zubair. They're the co-founders of Queno. It's an app through which teachers can manage class activities and keep parents in the loop. It's an amazing app, and they've had some huge successes in the past few months. We'd like to get to know them and get to know their venture and their experiences with Queno. So, welcome, Kaval, and welcome, Muhammad Zubair. Thank you for
Thank
coming,
you.
and hello.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you, Fatima.
So we'd like to start off by your basic introduction, who you are, what you do, your educational backgrounds, because our viewers are very excited to get to know the both of you. So if you want to start, Farida.
Yeah, sure. So I'm Farida Kamal, co-founder and COO of Queno. I belong to northern areas of Pakistan. Zubair and I were the university classmates and best friends as well. So Queno journey has started from our university. We both were passionate about the entrepreneurship and startups. So I still remember the day we both were discussing about the idea of starting a startup. So we are really very excited to whatever we are doing right now. So I think furthermore, Zubair will give his introduction. Then we will start talking about our startup and everything.
Thank you, Farida. Thank you, Fatima, for inviting us today. It's we are always excited to share our stories, to share our startup journey. So, as Farida said, we both started our company after our university final year project. So it was basically none of us came from a business background. We never thought, even during our university time, that we would be doing a business in future. At least, especially, I was just completely job oriented person. I never have done a job, but in my family, in my whole friend circle, everybody is job oriented. So I never knew that I could land in the business space. But when we started from the Nest.io, our business, so we both then got to know more about startup culture, ecosystem, entrepreneurship, and then we stuck to it, and we like, okay, we should never return back from this journey, inshallah. So, Farida, would you like to tell something about Queno, or do you want me to continue about it? Okay, Fatma, let me continue. I think Farida's internet is a bit disconnecting, I guess.
Yes,
So,
sure.
Queno, it's a mobile application which connects teachers and parents together. And the first basic idea with which Farida and I have started our company was it was literally just two features that we introduced at first when we started our company. It was the attendance system and the progress report. So we researched in many schools and talked with many parents, and we found out that parents are completely unaware about their children's progress reports. And on the other hand, teachers are like teachers' time is a lot of consumed because of the manual data registers, manually copying checking the copies of students, marking attendance manually. So we tried to overcome that problem, and we created this mobile application to connect teachers and parents together, and to do the management and communication part on the similar on the same app. Now, currently, Quena is offering about 33 features to schools, and all those features with time we introduced was by the help of parents, students, and teachers. So when they started using our app, so teachers came forward and they said, introduce this, introduce this. Why not? We can talk with parents. Why should we use WhatsApp? We should use an in-app school mobile application to chat with parents, or parents chat with teachers. So like this. So now Queno is a complete management and communication tool that connects teachers and parents together, enabling the principals or directors of the schools to manage their schools and classworks on a daily basis on just a single screen of their laptop or computer or tablet. So that's a basic brief of Queno.
Thank you so much, Zubair, for explaining it to us. Before we move forward, recently you guys have had a huge success regarding the Forbes 30 under 30. So, can you tell us about that, the excitement, the experience, and how was it?
Uh, I think, can I share that experience where?
Yeah, yeah. Please, please.
Yeah, so I'm so sorry my internet is fluctuating again and again. So sorry for that. But I still remember Zubair told me that Farida, we are uh, I don't know about anyone. I don't know about the girl name. She's from India, I guess. She called Zubair and told her that you guys need to fill a form. Some recommendations has been given against you for you guys. So we were really very excited and we never thought कि हम लोग Forbes में आएंगे under 30 कभी भी सोचा भी नहीं था ना कभी एक्सपेक्ट किया था तो फॉर्म हमने जनरली फिल कर लिया जो भी डिटेल्स थी हमने सब कुछ उसको बहुत दिल से फिल किया था जो भी अंदर था क्योंकि मैं और जुबैर वी बोथ आर वेरी नेचुरल तो इतनी जितनी भी थी सक्सेस स्टोरी जो भी थी हमने सब क्वेनो के रिलेटेड उसके अंदर शेयर किया था देन आफ्टर अ मंथ वी रिमेंबर दे टोल्ड अस के मार्च में यू आर गोइंग दे आर गोइंग टू अनाउंस द लिस्ट so we didn't expect कि हमारा नाम जो है उसके अंदर आएगा जुबैर saw the email in the morning and he called me यार फरीदा हमारा जो है फोर्ब्स में नहीं हुआ था I was like as expected हम दोनों तफरियां करने लगे एक दूसरे पे but suddenly he told me no Farida we are in the Forbes so that was highly and highly a big achievement for us तो हमने एक्साइटमेंट में जाके घर वालों को बताया तो घर वालों को इतना आइडिया नहीं था कि फोर्ब्स होता क्या है but still then उनको पता चला so they were very very happy and even we were very happy to see them happy and Queno is like it's a baby for us so whatever Queno do it's a bad or good we are really really happy for whatever Queno is achieving for us so it was a big success and a happiness moment for us where you can share your experience.
Yeah, she's right. Fatma, I just want to add something with this. She's absolutely right. We are always very natural when it comes to our story. When anyone
Mm.
asks our success story, our journey, or whatever,
Our
so that
failures.
our failures, that the same we shared with Forbes, and we found out that they were mostly interested in our failures rather
Mm.
than those successes that people show. That's what I learned while giving them interview to Forbes and filling their forms and stuff. That they like when you're natural. They like when you tell them your failures rather than showing them that we are working 24 hours. We are having thousands of schools. We are having this and this. Um, uh, I mean, of course, they appreciated the fact that when we told them that, see, we had at that time, I think we were having only 25,
Few schools,
20
yeah.
or 25 schools. And even with that, we told them that about 5 or 6 schools have just recently stopped using Queno because we had a lot of bugs and glitches in our product that I'm telling you of about 2019. And
Yeah.
so, and they liked that fact that we shared this, even like the exact scenario with them. So she's right. When it came in Forbes, I was like, did they hear wrong? We told them that we are having few schools. But then their email was they were very nice with us, that they told us that it's not only about the success that you have achieved, it's also about the journey that you have done and your ups and downs, that you went down and then you grow up and then again and again you're pushing your startup and hustling with it. So you're right. It was a big achievement for us, but alhamdulillah. Shukran.
It's definitely a big achievement. Both of you, you're pride for Pakistan, and we're very,
Thank
very
you.
proud of the two of you. And mashallah, we're proud of Queno, that it's a Pakistani startup. And it's amazing the journey and your honesty. So, another thing I read about you guys was the hackathon, the GSMA hackathon in Spain that you guys won. We would also like to know about that. We will move to the failures, but let's start with
Right.
the achievements.
Success part.
That
Yeah.
that was Farida. Would you like to share that? I just need to say
Yeah.
that was Fatma was the success trap for Queno. That hackathon win, I would say that. And I'll explain later what the success trap is. But Farida, please start how we end up with
Yeah.
that hackathon.
Yeah, it was 2017, I guess October or November. I don't remember the month, but GSMA came into Pakistan and they started their competition and everything. So we participated in that competition. At that time, Queno was having only one school. We don't have any school, and Queno was just born in 2016. So 2016 is 17 is a small journey for us, but still we tried to take part in the competition and we gave the idea a day before the application was closing. I remember we were filling the form and everything. We sit over there for 2 days. And मैं और जुबैर सिर्फ तफरी कर रहे थे कि हम लोग बैग में पैसे भर के जाएंगे, यहाँ से बैग में पैसे भर के जाएंगे. We never thought कि हम लोग जो है वो इस तरीके से इसको win करेंगे. So it was mainly, I think it was mainly because of Zubair, because he pitched really, really very well. We designed the whole application in within 2 days. They said for like 24 hours we were there and designing the APIs and everything, integrating that thing. We even the idea was derived a day before the competition. So I think this was a success for us too. And then we went there, do our stuff and everything. Zubair pitched the idea, and then we won the competition. So it was really very unexpected, but unfortunately we didn't get any visa, so we couldn't go there. But still, we represent Pakistan, and we are the winner from Asia. So this was the big accomplishment for Queno.
Yes, and having said that, so Fatmas, honestly, we because at that time we were not having any office, we were not having any employees with us,
Nothing.
so it was just we two and our ex CTO. So it was just we
Hmm.
three of us, and we had no office. So literally, we were looking forward to build that online fee payment, a school tuition fee payments feature into our app. So when we saw this hackathon happening at dot zero, so we thought, let's go. We will have an office for at least 2 days. Let's use that, and we'll build just our feature, and we'll come back and do our job. We even literally didn't know what was the winning prize. We didn't know that who else were
Hmm.
participating in that competition. We didn't know who was the host or who was doing that show. We literally didn't know anything. We just went there to get the Easy Pesa and Jazz Cash and GSM and mobile money APIs so that we can integrate into our app, and we'll just build it out and we'll sell to the schools. That was just the goal. We didn't go there to win. Um, when
We
we
never
build it,
thought for the result and everything. Yeah, we
yeah,
never
yeah,
thought for the output
we never
result. We just take
we
participations
even didn't know.
and
We
passionate
didn't know
about all these things. Yeah.
we didn't know even till that announcement date that what was the winning prize. When they announced, so then we got to know, oh, we are going to Barcelona. Oh, we got this VR AR as a gift. Oh, we got this 3 months incubation in, I think, Telenor Velocity was at that time it was doing something, some program. So it was a great learning experience for all of us, and I think again it was a. But I said in the start that it was a success trap because I think at that moment I'll talk about myself. I personally thought that now I'm a successful entrepreneur because I won something among a lot of huge companies. Over there, few big names of the software houses were even participated. They have participated in that competition, and we beat them all, and we are the winner. And that means that Queno is at the top. With 5 or 6 months, it came to our realization that the success is that how much revenue, how much business, how much clients you have in your company. It's not about the competitions. It's not about the hackathons you are winning or losing or the certificates you are having. It's all about the business that you are currently doing. So as you said, it was unfortunate for us that our visas were rejected. At that time, Pakistan's image was not very good, especially in the European side. We were very young. Our business was not established. So they thought that we might slip in Europe and we might not come back to Pakistan. So they didn't grant us the visa. And that was a very sad moment for us. But still, we were happy to participate online into GSMA and the only winner from Asia to represent the school at technology at that time. But yes, it was Alhamdulillah another big achievement, and that was the first achievement that we got in Queno.
For
That
us, yeah.
is very inspirational, and the fact that you guys saw the good in it, and even though you didn't get the visa, you went on and participated online. That's amazing. And I can see the teamwork through the conversation. Both of you, you're so interlinked, and the team is the energy is amazing, and I can see how Queno achieves the successes every day. So let's move forward and get to know a little bit about the company. What was the idea behind it, the vision, and has it changed over the years, like from 2017 to 2021, mashallah, through all the successes? How has the vision evolved, and how are you guys working towards it?
See, we started our company. Actually, the product that we launched was in late 2018. So basically, we started this, you can say, from 2019. The work actually that was started was in 2019. In 2017, and we were part of the Nest IO. We failed our first startup. It was not this Queno. It was another startup that we started with the health tech technology. We failed it miserably. Um, that was learning for us, and then we started Queno. So one key learning that we got from that failed startup was that you shouldn't develop the product first, you should do the marketing research first. So we literally your question, that when we started this project Queno, we just literally draw the mock-ups, the designs on a piece of paper. It was literally a hand-drawn sketches from Farida, and we took those printer papers. She drew it at the mobile app screens, that this will be the login, this will be the home screen, this will be the dashboard, and blah blah blah. And then we literally took those papers to the schools, and we used to tell them that, see, we are building this. You tell us what's your problem, what problem are you facing daily, and we'll make that into our application. So that helped us. So almost for about, if I'm not wrong, Frida, 8 to 10 months, we did that research in 2018. Almost, I think, 8 to 10 months. We did that research into schools in
Yeah.
2018,
Yes.
and then we started
Yeah. Yeah.
properly
It took
developing our
almost three. Yeah.
yeah, and then we started developing our product in late 2018, and then we launched in 2019. It was our first school that got on board, and then we started it. So the vision behind it, that why we started it, the first startup when we failed, we were at Nest.io, and the honestly, our story is very simple, and we never exaggerate our stories. Like, I have seen people doing that. Like, oh, when we born, when I took birth, I got this from Allah, that Zubair, you're gonna work in education technology. Oh, Zubair, there's Farida somewhere at the end of Karachi, and she's also again. No, it was not at all like this. We were not going to, we never had that plan coming into education technology. I knew zero about business or anything. The only thing that happened with us was that when we failed the first startup, at that time, we both had immense family pressure. It was a huge family pressure that we were having, because we rejected few job offers. We were even part of an internship at a bigger, of one of the biggest software house in Pakistan. We both got internship after our university. We ran back from that software house after just a week, just to start this startup. We told our parents, our families, that we are going to do this business and this and that, and then we failed it after 4 to 5 months. So we had no option rather than to start something new. So that was to be honest, that was the only vision, that we wanted to do business, because we just wanted to show our family that we can do something. We were not sure about education space. We were not sure about the business community. We were not sure about the ecosystem. But yes, the idea Farida was always having, even when we were doing the first startup, she said that I want to do something about education, because she was a teacher herself. So she knew the problems. She used to tell me that, Zubair, these are the problems, these are the problems faced. How about if you make a digital homework diary? How about if you make a website for schools? And that was the bits and pieces we were having this idea. So the idea came when I was sitting in a wedding, and that time, now you can imagine that that was our time that we failed our startup. We were having just last 15 days into Nest.io, and Jahan Ara told us that if you brought a new idea and do some work, that I can give you a 2 months extra. Otherwise, you have to sign off like the other startup, because it's a 4 months incubation cycle at Nest.io, and the only 15 days were remaining. So I was sitting in a wedding, and I saw my relative's daughter, and she was insisting her mother not to go home, because she has already learned the exam that is about to happen the next day. And her mother, my cousin, she was telling her daughter that, no, I remember correctly, you have not learned from that chapter or exercise, but I cannot remember it correctly. And at that certain point, it hit me that she is, of course, not carrying her classwork diary, she's not carrying her homework diary with her in the wedding, but she's carrying her mobile phone. I came to Farida, I discussed this problem with her, and she said, Zubair, how about if we bring the classroom into a mobile application? And that was the first spark that she gave to me, and that was a big idea that it suddenly came to us. And then we ran to Jahanara and said, the spark is here. Give us 10 to 15 days. We are making the idea. And then she quickly, Farida, made the sketches on paper. Then we visited to the schools. And in just 20 days, we got our first client on board. And that was our second success trap. So we got so happy that, my God, Queno is a huge success now. It's just on piece of paper, and we got a client on board, and this and that. And Fatma, that first client was the only client till the whole 2019 year. So we got that school in February 2019. Until December 2019, it was just that one school that was on board with us. So we learned a lot of things during that time, and but with time we understood the more problems. As I said, we continued our research. Farida has a greater role in that because she was the one leading that research thing. It was just two of us. There was no other team member there. Then we started doing freelancing at night. So sorry if I'm taking your time. If you want to ask more questions, and then we'll come to our story again.
No, 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 keep going.
Okay, so I was just adding that we were Farida. If you also want to add something over here, please feel free to interrupt me. We both, Fatma, actually, we both love to talk. So whenever someone asks us to talk, so we both love to talk.
That's what we
So
want.
okay, so feel free to interrupt me in between, please. Whenever you think that I'm taking a lot of footage, so just please let me know. So I was just adding that we started doing freelancing at nights because we had to inject some money in Queno. At a point came in mid 2019 when we realized that we need to hire someone who has to take care of the product technology. So we both, Farida and I, has a background of computer science. So we developed the initial version of the app, but of course, to grow, to customize the application, to enhance more features, we need someone. So we hired two people. I think it was 6,000 or 8,000 rupees internship that we paid, and even in that time, we took care of that point that even if we are hiring someone on internship, we should pay them something. So I think we paid them 6,000 rupees a month, and that was an internship of 2 or 3 months. We hired two people, but even at that time, we were not even having 6,000 rupees with us. So we started freelancing. So our routine was that we start our day at 8 o'clock in the morning. We go pitch to the schools, research work. Then we come back to Nest.io at about 2 or 3 p.m. And then we give work to the employees, our internees. Then they do work. Then we come back home at 6 or 7 p.m. Then at 8, no, at 9 or 10 p.m., then again we sit on our computers at night, and then we do straight freelancing work till like 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. at night. That was our daily work, including the weekends as well. So that helped us in injecting some money into Queno, and so that was just the that's how it started. Then in 2020, and even in late 2019, we got more schools coming on board in our sales pipeline. Then we learned a lot of new dynamics, how to pitch into the schools, what to do. That was another funny stories we have, how we pitched to the schools, how we learned to get appointment with the teachers, with the principals and owners. So yeah.
The way that both of you carry your failures, it's just impressive, and I can see that you decide to learn from your failures and you carry them as medals. And I think that's one of the very key factors in success, that you keep your failures with you and
That's
you
true.
learn from them. So you talked about pitching to schools and getting more clients in 2019. So late 2019, I think that's when COVID started. So I wanted to know about how COVID affected your business, and how did it, if it did, accelerate the business process because everything went online. So can you tell us
Hmm.
about that?
So Fatma, in late 2019, we got an opportunity from Oman Tech Fund. It's an OTF VC firm in Oman. So they invited us to Muscat and pitch our investors. So they got our list from an STI or 0 to 1 Disrupt event. I met with them. They liked our idea. They said that come to Muscat. They invited me to come and pitch over there. I went there. We pitched to them, and it was a huge success, alhamdulillah, that they agreed to invest in our company, pre-seed amount. So that was a big hit again for us. That was a big achievement, alhamdulillah. But the plan was that from February 2020 till June 2020, I would be residing in Oman, scaling our business in Muscat and other cities of Oman with the help of that VC firm. And Farida will be leading the Queno in Pakistan and in UAE. So we got also a partner on board and an angel investor, Ashraf Kaleem of Magnus Sports and Communications. So he invested some amount in our company as well, and he opened the doors of UAE for us. So the plan was great. We were so excited. The product was ready. I went to Oman in January. In January 2020. I went to Oman. Farida had a small visit of Dubai in Feb, so it was all planned. I was in Oman, and it was, I think, January, late January or start of Feb, when the announcement broke in Oman that Pakistan is under COVID attack and we are closing the borders for Pakistanis. So if anybody wants to fly back to their country, they should fly back. My visa was expiring in March, but it was already planned that it was expiring. I'll go back to Pakistan and I'll take the visa, business visa again, and I'll come back again, and will reside till June. I was hiring the marketing people in Oman. I had already talked with some reseller partners in Oman. Farida had done some that basic work in UAE as well. So she came back to Pakistan again. I came back in Feb to Karachi, and we're like, it's okay. There's a lockdown of like maybe it will reside for like 15 days or 20 days or so. Uh, but even now, today, it's more than a year. Oman is in lockdown. They have canceled our visa. We couldn't fly back. That was a big hit to us. We didn't know what to do because all the plan, all the investment was for that particular scaling and expanding Queno to those regions, to Middle East regions. So that was really a moment of worry for us because, when I think Fab went, March went, we were okay with it. We're like, okay, it's gonna open now. It's gonna open now.
Hmm.
All the businesses were okay with it. But when it comes to like 3 months, 4 months, when April, June, when it came, so it was a moment of worry that what should we do? And the another thing that I accept that was because that was my call and I didn't make that right call. That was my mistake that I wasted those 3, 4 months because uh, we should have maybe pivoted that model in Queno, and we should have introduced the online classes module in Queno. But the only reason that I didn't make that call was that I was afraid that, for example, it's in Feb. I started developing the online classrooms and online video or audio call in Queno application. And maybe in March or April, the schools opens again. So that development cost, those features cost is going to harm us a lot. So I said that no, you don't need to do that. It's just about 2 or 3 months. The schools are going to open again. But maybe if I could have developed those features in those 3, 4 months, we would be able to pitch a lot of schools in August when the schools understood the problem that now the only solution to sustain your schools is by going online. And at that time in July, we started to understand that, and then we started developing quickly. We hired a couple of more developers and team. So now currently we are a people of 10, including Farida and myself. We are 12 people on board in our company. So then we started to hiring more and more people, and then we launched our feature. So the starting 4 to 5 months was a big hit for Queno. It was a negative hit for us. But then it turned out to be a blessing in disguise, COVID situation and the pandemic, because even those schools who were not ready to adopt technology were now calling us by themselves that, hey, can you come and have a meeting with us? We need Queno for online schoolings and this and that. And then we saw a very good positive, change in our education industry of Pakistan. People started to get their schools completely tech savvy. They installed internet devices, they installed routers and stuff. They were now thinking that how many teachers are having smartphones, how many teachers are not having laptops or tablets or smartphones. So it is a good, I think. I mean, we cannot say COVID is good, but
Here
that
I just want
scenario.
to
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Please go ahead.
yeah, I think here I just want to add something. Internet connectivity was the biggest challenge for Queno. If I talk about 3 to 4 years back, it was the biggest challenge for us. But COVID has made people realize that how much it is important in school to get the technology. See, now everything, every dynamic education dynamic has been changed. If we planned for the Oman and UAE, but unfortunately we couldn't make up there, but we decided to open our regions in other regions of Pakistan as well. So
Hmm. Yeah, that's true. That helped us in scaling Fatma to other regions of Pakistan, like those
yeah,
regions that were not planned for us. Like Farida is from Gilgit. She is from Hunza. So she started working
yeah,
in Gilgit region, and then we got schools in Gilgit and Hunza, which was never in our plan to launch in 2020. It was maybe it will come to our plan in 2022 or 2023. But then we launched in Lahore, in Islamabad, in Pindi, in Gilgit. We were already doing business in Karachi, so now Queno is now working in 5 different cities of Pakistan. So it was something that Allah had those plans, that what we were planning in Oman and
yeah.
UAE, and He was planning us to launch in different regions of Pakistan. So yes, we got a bad hit in the first 4 to 5 months, but then it came smooth, and Alhamdulillah, we are doing good now.
So basically, it accelerated your growth, and mashallah, now you're scaling up and at a very, very fast speed. And
Yeah.
hopefully, will be doing more of that in the coming months.
Inshallah.
So my next question is going to be targeted to Farida because this is the SG Women's Month. So we just want to know that being a woman founder and being a Pakistani and also being from Gilgit, I want to know what was your experience and any barriers and hardships that you might have faced in your journey to here, and how do you cope up with them, and how do you like, does your team help in it, and does your family were they supportive, anything that our viewers who are female and students who can learn and get inspired from you.
I think if I talk about the marketing sides of the Queno. So whenever I go and pitch school to my product, so they were like कि क्या लड़की हमें आई है technology समझाने. So in Pakistan, people believe that technology belongs to a man. And जब भी जुबैर कोई बात बोले कि so they get entertained and they इंटरेस्ट वो लेते थे हर चीज में. लेकिन जब मैं सेम बात मैं करती थी तो वो इंटरेस्ट मुझे कभी भी नजर नहीं आया था. बट आई थिंक मैं हमेशा जुबैर को बोलती थी कि स्कूल में एंट्री तुम्हें मेरे बगैर नहीं मिल सकती. तो आई थिंक हमारे कुछ बीइंग अ फीमेल पॉजिटिव साइड्स भी होते हैं और नेगेटिव साइड्स भी हमारे होते हैं. बट कभी भी मुझे वो चीज लेट डाउन नहीं किए या डीमोटिवेट नहीं किए. एट टाइम्स वो चीज होती थी कि यार मैं भी वही बात कर रही हूँ जो बात जुबैर कर रहा है, तो वो चीज कभी कभी बुरी लगती थी. लेकिन आई थिंक आई एम सो फॉर्चुनेट टू गेट जुबैर एज माई पार्टनर. वो मुझे हमेशा करना चाहिए तुम्हें, तो एक पुश हमेशा मुझे जुबैर के एंड से मिलता था. तो वो चीज मुझे
आत्मा की
is
नोटिस, जब
that
मेरी तारीफ शुरू हुई तो नेट इसका डिस्कनेक्ट हो गया.
so
That's what she do
okay.
with me.
Okay, if I talk about my personal life, so I belong to Hunza. So their challenges is हमें पता है कि हम एक remote area से उठ के यहाँ पे आते हैं और अपनी education को complete करना चाहते हैं सब कुछ. तो not everyone is enough privileged कि उसको बड़ी schools मिले, वो बड़ी schools में पढ़ पाए या हर चीज हो पाए. लेकिन I think जब जुबैर जुबैर तो मुझे शुरू से जानता है, तो he knows कि how shy I was. मैं कभी भी बात नहीं कर पाती थी. मुझे ऐसा होता था नहीं जुबैर तुम जाओ पिच करने. एक दफा आई स्टिल रिमेम्बर, आई लव आई टू आई and I love Kulsum a lot. So she forced me a lot कि तुम pitch करो eye to eye में, तुम pitch करो. So I never wanted to pitch. I always say Zubair कि यार तुम जाओ please, तुम मुझे आगे मत करना. I still remember Zubair pushed me on the demo day, you have to pitch all Queno and everything. So I pitched naturally and everything. On that day I learned कि how it is important नॉट टू बी फेक, टू बी ए नेचुरल। अगर आप नेचुरल हो, आपको जो चीजें आती हैं, क्योंकि आपकी चीज आपसे कोई छीन नहीं सकता है, आपसे ले नहीं सकता, तो अगर आप उस चीज पे कमांड रखते हो तो आप उसको आराम से बोल सकते हो। हर किसी की लाइफ में चैलेंजेस होते हैं, ऐसा नहीं है कि कोई भी चैलेंजेस के बगैर है, लेकिन उसको चैलेंजेस को एक्सेप्ट करके आगे बढ़ना, मुझे लगता है ये सबसे बड़ी सक्सेस है। फिर वो मेल हो या फीमेल हो, हर किसी के अपने चैलेंजेस हैं। तो मैं जेंडर स्पेसिफिक होकर बात नहीं करूंगी कि बीइंग अ फीमेल मेरे चैलेंजेस थे, बीइंग अ मेल जुबैर के भी बहुत सारे चैलेंजेस हैं। वो स्कूल में उसको एंट्री नहीं मिल पाती है, वो नहीं जा पाता है स्कूल के अंदर। कभी कोई टीचर्स जो है वो इससे डेमो लेना पसंद नहीं करती, तो वो चीज उसको भी कहीं ना कहीं बुरी लगती होगी। जिस तरीके से मुझसे एडमिन नहीं सुनना चाहती, टीचर्स इससे नहीं सुनना चाहती है। तो चैलेंजेस आई गेस दोनों के लिए है, लेकिन इट्स इम्पोर्टेंट कि आप उस चैलेंज को एक्सेप्ट करो और आगे ग्रो करो। और आप दोनों का, पार्टनर्स का बॉन्ड होना आपस में बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है, क्योंकि हमेशा ऐसा होता है कि एक बहुत लाइमलाइट के अंदर रहता है, दूसरा लाइमलाइट में नहीं होता। लेकिन एक दूसरे हमें पता होता है कि दोनों की मेहनत है उस चीज के अंदर, लेकिन हम लोग हमेशा उस चीज को अप्रिशिएट करते हैं। आई रियली, मुझे बहुत खुशी होती है जब जुबैर को जो है अप्रिसिएशन मिलती है, लाइक वाइज जब जुबैर को खुशी होती है जब मुझे अप्रिसिएशन मिलती है। तो आई थिंक ये बॉन्ड पार्टनर का होना बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी होता है बिजनेस के अंदर, और ये जेंडर स्पेसिफिक नहीं है, हर किसी के अपने अपने चैलेंजेस हैं।
Thank you, Farida, for saying this. Fatma, can I add something over here?
Yes, sure. Go ahead.
So honestly, when we used to go and pitch to the schools, so we both belonged to middle class families. We were not having our personal cars or vehicles to go, to do sales and marketing. So we often at times that we are going into rickshaw or stepping out of a chinchi, or then later on I purchased a bike, or I used to borrow from my brother, so I'm coming on the bike. So that impression that the security guards, the admin people are having of the schools are having on us was usually like there are some kids of university, or I don't know what
Hmm.
they're doing, or shall we let them enter into the school or not? Shall we ask the owner or principal to meet them or not? So like you can say like this: if we are going to 100 schools, so 90 schools are saying us, like their security guards are saying us, sorry bhai kal aana, aaj saab nahi mil sakte, साइड पे हो जाओ, गाड़ी आ रही है, बच्चे आ रहे हैं, उनको जगह दे दो पहले. So these are the things that we hear from them. And as you have asked from Farida about her as a female gender, so one thing I would really like to appreciate of her, and I used to tell her about this as well, that the way our people stare at girls, especially the working women. I'm sure Fatma, you must have faced this as well. You are also in the same business side. Uh, that the way people look at her, I used to say to Farida that Farida, if I will be at your place, I would have quit startup. I would have quit working like this, and I would have returned back home, because they don't know. At times, I used to be like this, that I'm the computer science graduate. I'm working on a startup. I'm working with Nest.io. I'm working with Oman Tech Fund. And I mean, these people are treating us like we are some, I don't know what they're thinking in their mind, because then Farida is like that, no, Zubair, if we are going to return back from these schools, and who is going to enter into the schools? That is the reason that since past 30, 40 years, the education quality is going down and down, because people like us, if they're not going to step in, and the time will come that when people will respect us, and people will, it's not only about respecting ourselves, it's about respecting the startups. It's about respecting the new technologies. We both never bothered about this, that people should praise us, or they should say, "Oh my God, Zubair and Farida, Zubair and Farida." No, you can see Fatma in our Facebook pages or our Instagram or LinkedIn. You will only see the word Queno, 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 Queno coming on Forbes. Queno coming speaking with Fatma on Ejad Labs. We have never said that, oh, Zubair is the CEO or Farida is a COO. People ask us, "What's your job role?" We tell them this is our job role. We never carry that job role with us to do the
No,
same.
people
So
people
this,
people think we belong to sales. We are sales representative for schools. We are not founders for schools.
and it was Farida's choice, that she took that hard step, and she said it's fine for me if they are staring at us, if they are keeping, because at that time when heat wave was in Karachi and we are standing for like half
Hmm.
hour, 40 minutes outside of the schools, and then we are hearing back that sorry, they are not interested to meet with you. भाईजान उनको नहीं मिलना आपसे. So at
Yeah,
that time, and then
and at that was the time when Peshawar attack was happened. So schools were very rigid. They never entered us into their
Hmm,
premises. They
hmm,
stopped us on the gate. I still remember the day, Zubair, if you remember the time when we were at PCHS and walking for
hmm,
1.5 hours continuously and knocking
hmm.
every door of the school, and none of the school opened a door for us. And after itna heat wave tha, so we don't have any water or everything. Ramzan time, I don't remember. It was a
रमजान नहीं था,
Ramzan time.
but it
No,
was
no.
heat wave.
But none offered a glass of water for us as well. But still, we were motivated and we want to do something.
And Fatima, the point I'm highlighting in all these hardships is that it, like she said, so for 1 hour and 1.5 hour we were walking in those PCHS area was because we were not having our personal vehicles. And
Hmm.
those areas, there are no chinchis or buses or
Hmm.
rickshaws traveling over there. And there are a lot of schools in just one road and then in the next street and the next street. So we had to walk, to those schools. And the point I'm highlighting is that in those 1.5 hour time, people staring at Farida, the behavior of the security guards of schools, the way they're looking at her was actually hurting for me. It was that point was even more hurting for me comparatively to that point that they are not taking Queno in the schools. But I was like that if even if you want to say no to us, just say no to us, but don't treat us like this. But she was the one. She was like, I have no issues about this. Let them stare at us. They will be the ones that when our product is going to launch in their schools, then they will be the one that opening the doors for us by themselves. And that's true. Now
I
when we
think
go to
those.
the
Hmm.
schools, so
Hmm.
the behavior has changed. They understand the importance. So
And
yeah.
and those days made us realize that we have to live and create opportunities in limited resources. We have limited resources. We don't have vehicles. We didn't have any transportation and everything, but still we try to manage to go to schools and everything. So these were challenges, but these were the things which made us strong. So I believe these are not, these challenges have made us strong. So this is a good luck for us, and अच्छी बात है कि ये होना भी एक अच्छी चीज है.
Farida, you remember that security Pathan guy you told us in PCHS school? Fatma, can I narrate that story in Urdu?
Yes, yes, sure.
Which one?
You'll remember Farida. So Fatma, what happened was that we were standing outside a school, Farida and I, and it was a heat wave, and that security guard was a Pathan.
Yeah.
So he's an old guy. He was a very sweet guy. So we were standing outside, and he asked me that why are you here? From where are you here? वो तो मैं उसको
Hmm.
समझाने लगा. And I said कि हम ये करते हैं और हमने पढ़ाई के बाद हमने ये शुरू किया. तो उसने मुझसे कहा कि तो आप जो यहाँ आए हो वो ये स्कूल के फायदे के लिए आए हो. तो मैंने कहा हाँ, अगर वो ये लगा देंगे तो उससे उनके एजुकेशन का फायदा होगा, उनके बिजनेस का भी फायदा होगा. सिर्फ एजुकेशन का उनके बिजनेस का भी फायदा होगा. फिर तकरीबन कोई आधा घंटा, शायद इससे ज्यादा ही गुजरा है, बट मिनिमम तो आधा घंटा गुजर गया था, एंड जस्ट स्टैंडिंग आउटसाइड दैट स्कूल. और फिर वो जो उनका रिसेप्शन पे जो फोन लगा हुआ था, तो वहां से अंदर एडमिन वाली रिसेप्शनिस्ट ने या शायद प्रिंसिपल ने डायरेक्ट बाबा को फोन किया और उनको कहा कि उनको वापस भेज दो, मुझे नहीं मिलना, बस टाइम नहीं है या जो भी. सो
Hmm.
यू नो व्हाट ही सेड टू अस फातिमा. उसने मुझे कहा कि साहब, ऐसी पढ़ाई का, ऐसे स्कूलों
Hmm.
का क्या फायदा कि
Yeah.
जिसमें उनको ये औरत की इज्जत का नहीं पता. अगर आप मेरे गांव में होते, मैं तो पढ़ा लिखा नहीं हूँ स्कूल में, लेकिन आप मेरे गांव होते तो मैं कम से कम इनको अंदर बिठाता, खातून को, और इनको पानी पिला देता और फिर वापस भेजता. तो ऐसी पढ़ाई का क्या फायदा है आपके ऐसे स्कूलों का? आप ऐसे स्कूल्स में
Hmm.
क्यों आते? So that वो हमें याद रह गया. This story is about like 2 years
Hmm.
or maybe 3 years back story,
Yeah.
but
This was a
that is
school in
very close.
PCHS.
There was a school
Yeah.
in PCHS. There was a very
Yeah.
high-end school.
Yeah.
Everybody knows about that school, and they did like that. So so that these people, Fatma, kept us pushing forward. People like
Hmm.
those security guards, they are the people who used to push us forward, that see if there are bad people, then there are we people exist as well. So keep going, keep going, keep going, and the time will come that you will inshallah succeed. And that's what happened, alhamdulillah.
Your determination is amazing, and I was gonna ask you guys what keeps you guys going, and I think Zubair answered it already. कि इस तरह के लोग जो हैं वो बहुत हेल्प करते हैं आपकी हिम्मत और हौसले को मेंटेन रखने में. तो एक चीज़ जो मुझे आप दोनों से बहुत पूछनी है, and I want to know because a lot of the viewers on our pages are students and they're
Hmm.
entrepreneurs who are starting off, and one thing that I want to know is, क्योंकि आप लोगों की journey में you guys have mentioned Nestayo, you've mentioned Kusum, you've mentioned Jahara, and they're amazing people, they're legends, and you got to work with them. So, what do you think? How important it is to have the right kind of incubation, or the right kind of, I guess, people guiding you on your way forward? How important it is for you to achieve something?
Farida, would you like to answer this, please? Hello,
Sorry,
Farida, are
my
you
internet.
answering?
Yeah, actually, my internet was fluctuating, so I didn't hear the whole question.
So she's asking about the Nest IO experience and I2I because many students are listening to us. So how important it was for us to be in an incubator and accelerator program.
I think it's really, really very important for everyone to look for the opportunities, business opportunities. अगर business करना चाह रहे हो तो अपनी opportunity इर्द गिर्द आपको देखनी होती है कि किस तरह की हो. Because in university we are in a closed container. हम अपने friends के साथ होते हैं तो हम एक बड़े platform पे जाके चीजों को देख नहीं रहे होते हैं, analyze नहीं कर रहे होते हैं. तो अब जब हर किसी को हर चीज नहीं आती, ये हमें एक्सेप्ट करना पड़ेगा. अगर मुझे मार्केटिंग नहीं, अगर मैं टेक्निकल हूँ तो मुझे मार्केटिंग नहीं आती, लेकिन आप करते करते उस चीज को सीखते हो. तो उसको सीखने के लिए यू नीड मेंटोर्स, यू नीड कनेक्शंस. और इस तो नेस्ट आयो है या आई टू हाई है, आप इस प्लेटफॉर्म्स पे जाते हो तो आपको कनेक्शंस मिलते हैं, आपको नेटवर्क मिलता है. इसके अलावा सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट ये है कि आफ्टर ग्रेजुएटिंग फ्रॉम यूनिवर्सिटी हमारे पास इतने पैसे नहीं होते हर किसी के पास, वो एक ऑफिस स्पेस को रेंट आउट करे या इंटरनेट के वो पैसे भी दे सके. ये भी हमारे लिए बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज होता है इनिशियली, और टीम सेटअप करना. तो जब हम किसी इंक्यूबेशन सेंटर में जाते हैं तो आपको फ्री में सारी फैसिलिटीज मिल रही होती हैं, आपको मेंटोर्स फ्री में मिल रहे होते हैं, आपको नेटवर्क फ्री में मिलता है. इसके अलावा मुझे लगता है बेस्ट पार्ट ये कि अगर आप अपने साथ अपने जैसे किसी को देखते हो ना, उसकी स्ट्रगल जब देखते हो तो आप मोटिवेट होना शुरू होते हो. मैं और जुबैर जब इनिशियली स्टार्ट में नेस्ट गए थे तो हमारे बैच में सारे हमारे टाइप के थे. हर कोई सीखना चाह रहा था, हर कोई लर्न करना चाह रहा था. उनकी फेलियर्स, उनके सक्सेस से बहुत चीजें हमने सीखी, तो हमने आगे जो है जाके कॉन्शियस हो गया कि यार इन्होंने ये स्टेप लिया था तो आज इनको ये प्रॉब्लम कर रहा है, तो हम वो स्टेप ना लें. और मोटिवेट भी होते थे. कभी हमें ऐसा होता था यार ये नहीं चल पाएगा, ये बिजनेस नहीं चल सकता, बट अपने जैसे लोगों को देख के वो मोटिवेशन आती है. तो मुझे लगता है कि इंक्यूबेशन या एक्सीलरेटर प्रोग्राम सिर्फ आपके बिजनेस को बेनिफिट नहीं करता, वो पर्सनली भी आपको करता है. इफ आई टॉक अबाउट आई टू आई, तो बिफोर आई टू आई आई वॉज वेरी शाय. मैं कभी भी बात नहीं करती थी, मैंने सिंस वो चीज बताई है, मेंशन की थी. बट आई टू आई हैज चेंज्ड मी कम्प्लीटली. उन्होंने मेरी पर्सनैलिटी से लेके हमारे बिजनेस को, हर चीज को जो है वो कम्प्लीटली चेंज किया है. तो आई थिंक ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है आपकी लर्निंग, आपकी ग्रोथ के लिए, कि आप लोग सिर्फ बिजनेस को बेनिफिट नहीं करना है, आपको अपने आप को भी करना होता है हर चीज में. आप बेनिफिट होगे तो आपका बिजनेस ऑटोमेटिकली उस चीज में बेनिफिट लेता है. मुझे लगता है कि इंक्यूबेशन और एक्सीलरेटर प्रोग्राम जो है वो बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है. और यूनिवर्सिटी के जब FYP बच्चा चूज करता है तो हमारे यहाँ पे बहुत कल्चर है कि हम एक दूसरे की चीजों को देख के कुछ भी स्टार्ट कर लेते हैं, यार ये कर लेते हैं, ये कर लेते हैं. लेकिन हमें अपना एम और अपना गोल सेट करना होता है. अगर आपको एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप करनी है तो आपको करना चाहिए. इफ यू थिंक कि नहीं दिस इज नॉट फॉर मी, मुझे नहीं करना, तो दूसरों को देख के या हॉट ट्रेंड देख के उस चीज को फॉलो करना, मुझे लगता है वो यूजलेस है. आपका अपना एक गोल होना चाहिए लॉन्ग टर्म, जिसको आप फोकस करो. हमारे यहाँ पे हम शॉर्ट टर्म गोल्स को लेके अपने लॉन्ग टर्म गोल्स को भूल जाते हैं कि फैमिली प्रेशर है, फैमिली ये कर रहा है, ये प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा. तो आई थिंक शॉर्ट टर्म गोल्स जो है वो आपके लॉन्ग टर्म को डिस्ट्रैक्ट करता है. अगर आप अपने लॉन्ग टर्म्स के अंदर अपने शॉर्ट टर्म्स गोल्स बनाएंगे तो वो आपको सक्सेस देगा उस चीज को. So I think this is what I can say for the university students. Incubation और ये सब कितना important है. Zubair, you can
And
carry on.
yeah, Farida, absolutely agreed with her. She has almost said everything that I was also having in my mind. Fatima, the self-personal grooming is very, very important when it comes to your business and startup, especially entrepreneurs like Farida and I represent Queno. Whoever comes to Queno will first know Zubair and Farida, that who are they. If our personal grooming is not good, if we are not that presentable or talkative, so it always impacts your company. So I think I2I and Nestio helped us in achieving those personal grooming goals first, and then accelerator program like I2I also helped us in looking at a bigger picture. So like
Yeah.
when you are in an incubator, you are just focusing on your business model, setting your revenue goals, developing your
Designing your
product,
product.
designing your product, thinking about your customers. An accelerator program like I2I helps you think on a bigger picture, that how to raise investment, what are your financial statements, how can you value your company, how much investment should you raise, how much equity should you give back, how long can you sustain with a particular amount. So those were the questions when it was asked by I2I team to us. We were like literally dumb. And it's like, what is an ROI? What are you talking about churn rate? We even didn't knew about those terms.
Hmm.
Honestly, we didn't know about those terms. वी हम तो बहुत ही बेसिक सिंपल बैकग्राउंड से ताल्लुक रहते हैं, हमें तो ये वर्ड्स बहुत ही फैंसी करते थे कि ये रिटर्न ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट और रिटर्न ऑफ इंटरेस्ट और फलाना और चर्न रेट और नेट रेवेन्यू कुछ और होता है और प्रॉफिट कुछ और होता है और कॉस्टिंग कुछ और होती है, ये हमें कुछ भी नहीं पता था. When we did their programs, we understood those things. So I think वो दोनों चीजें बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. Having said that, एक लास्ट चीज जो फरीदा ने बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हाईलाइट की, which I would really like to tell to all the students, and I always tell them that focus on your personal skills and then select that do you want to go into the startups or go towards the jobs. ये हमारे यहाँ एक बदकिस्मती से बहुत ही गलत कॉन्सेप्ट है. इट्स अ मिसकंसेप्शन कि गोइंग टू द स्टार्टअप इंडस्ट्री versus going to the jobs industry is like a competition. कि जो शख्स
Hmm.
जॉब कर रहा है तो इसका मतलब है कि आप गुलामी कर रहे हैं. People, I have seen
Hmm.
entrepreneurs and CEOs literally using the words slave,
Words, yeah.
गुलाम, कि आप जो है वो किसी की गुलामी से बेहतर है कि be your own boss. This is crap. This is not right. This is not the right approach. If you are doing a job and if you're liking your job, absolutely wonderful. If you are passionate about your job, if it's in your own skill set and you got your job, perfect. सैलरी कम ज्यादा होती है. हमने अपनी कौन सी कोई एंटरप्रेन्योरिटी की जर्नी में कोई लाखों
Hmm.
रुपए तनख्वाह ली है? वी couldn't even got a literally 5,000 रुपीज हम नहीं निकाल पाते थे अपने. हम जैसे 2-3 हजार रुपए अपने ट्रेवलिंग के निकाल पाते थे कोई एक
जॉब
डेढ़
वाले
साल तक.
ज्यादा हमसे निकालते
तो
थे।
जॉब वाले हमारे साथ के जो थे वो गाड़ियां खरीद लेते थे. हम तो बाइक के पेट्रोल डालते हुए सोचते थे कि यार वो 70-70 रुपए का पेट्रोल डालो, 100 रुपए का डालो, लिटरली. तो दिस इज नॉट द राइट अप्रोच टू कम टूवर्ड्स योर स्टार्टअप. आप पहले अपनी स्किल्स पे काम करें. अच्छा हाँ, वो लोग जिनको लगता है कि नहीं यार हम प्रोग्रामिंग साइड पे नहीं है, हम सेल्स साइड पे ज्यादा अच्छे हैं या हमारा माइंड बिजनेस साइड पे है, लाजमी आ जाए. अगर कोई टेक सेवी आदमी है और उसको काम करना है, या पर्सन है, कोई लड़का है लड़की है, तो आप किसी के साथ पार्टनर करके कोई प्रोजेक्ट स्टार्ट कर लें, जॉब के साथ बिजनेस स्टार्ट कर लें, थोड़ा सा स्टार्टअप को इंजेक्ट करें. क्योंकि फातिमा, ऑनेस्टली एट दिस टाइम in the whole world, this pandemic is really something to worry. Uh,
Hmm.
take your steps after thinking a
Yes.
lot. Take your step
Hmm.
very carefully. Don't just listen to people like us. Literally, I'm involving me and Farida. हमारे हम जब पिज्जा ऑर्डर करते हैं तो हम इंस्टाग्राम पे तस्वीर डाल देते हैं. हमारे घर में जब मम्मी भिंडी बनाती है तो हम तस्वीर कभी भी नहीं डालते कि हमने आज भिंडी खाई है.
Hmm.
So when a third person looks at our Instagram or Facebook stories, so they are like, wow, यार इनका बिजनेस बहुत अच्छा चल रहा है, ये सिर्फ पिज्जा ही खा रहे हैं.
Hmm.
That's not true. Stop
This is
looking
not
at
reality.
people. Stop inspiring from people from Facebook or Insta or YouTube or these stuff. This is not right. I think Fatma is here now. It's fine, your life.
But I think
So that's
surrounding
my message.
positive people matters a lot. Surrounding positive people around yourself matters a lot. You have
Uh,
to pick कि किसको अपने साथ रखना है, किसको नहीं. ये आपको कोई नहीं सिखा सकता है कि कौन सही है कौन गलत है, ये आपको खुद देखना है. जैसी इकोसिस्टम दिखता है या जैसा स्टार्टअप दिखता है या जो भी पर्सन जैसा दिखता है, वो रियलिटी में उस तरीके की चीजें होती नहीं है. उनकी अपनी जर्नी, अपने चैलेंजेस हैं, हर किसी का अपना होता है. तो आई थिंक ये हमारे ऊपर है कि हम किसको पिक कर रहे हैं, किस चीज को पिक नहीं कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि एट द एंड दिस इज माई लाइफ. हमें आगे अपनी लाइफ को जो है वो बेटर करना है. तो कोई और ओन नहीं करता, हम ही उस चीज को ओन करते हैं. इस चीज
also
को
that
समझना
Fatma,
बहुत जरूरी है.
students need to understand this, or youngsters need to understand this, that everybody has their own family problems.
यस.
By saying this, ke, startups test your temperaments. Yes, that's correct. Startup
यस.
test ke, how long can you go? Yes, that's correct. But uh, with all of this, you should know your own family problems.
हम्म.
मेरे घर पे मेरा family support different है, फरीदा का family support different है. I even cannot force फरीदा कि फरीदा तुम ये
हम्म.
करो क्योंकि मैंने किया और मैं सक्सेसफुल हो गया. या फरीदा किसी को ये गाइड करे कि यार मैं भी तो अकेली लड़की हूँ और मैंने किया, तो अब आप
हम्म.
भी सारी लड़कियां करें इसलिए क्योंकि मेरे साथ सही हुआ तो आपके साथ भी होगा. दैट्स नॉट ट्रू.
हम्म.
You should
दैट्स.
see your own family problems. You should know कि when you have to enter into the startup world. और फिर जैसे फरीदा ने कहा कि don't follow the trends. People like to be called CEO, like to be called
हम्म.
co-founder. जी आप क्या करते हैं? मैं जी को फाउंडर सीईओ हूँ क्वेनो का। तो ये भी तो बताओ कि क्वेनो चल कितनी रही है, और क्वेनो ने कुछ
True,
स्कूल्स लाए कि नहीं
true.
लाया है, क्वेनो का कोई रेवेन्यू है कि नहीं है, बस सीईओ, तो सीईओ का क्या अचार डालेंगे घर वाले। तो यू दे हैव टू
Yeah,
नो दिस, क्योंकि घर की दुनिया और फेसबुक की दुनिया बहुत अलग है। घर पे बड़े जूते
completely
पड़ते हैं
different.
सीईओ। अगर मंथ की पहली 5 तारीख को तनख्वाह सीईओ नहीं लाया तो ये सीईओ सीईओ नहीं है फिर। तो दैट्स व्हाट यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड। एट टाइम्स हम बहुत ग्लोरीफाई करते हैं
Hmm.
चीजों को एज ए स्टार्टअप फाउंडर्स, और हम कभी कभार मजबूर भी होते हैं चीजों को ना बढ़ा चढ़ा के दिखाने के लिए, और हम दिखाते हैं। और मैं आज आपको कह रहा हूँ स्टूडेंट्स को कि मैं अपने अपने आप को शामिल कर रहा हूँ, मैं दिखाता हूँ बड़ा चढ़ा के
Yes.
चीजें, बट डोंट फॉलो मी, डोंट फॉलो माई दोस्त ग्लोरीफाइंग थिंग्स, फॉलो आर कि हमने क्यों स्टार्ट किया, हमारी प्रॉब्लम्स जो हमने जिसको हमने
Failures.
रेक्टिफाई किया, हमारा इम्पैक्ट जो हम सोसाइटी में क्रिएट करें, फॉलो दैट ओनली। डोंट फॉलो कि मैंने कौन सी गाड़ी ली है, मैं कौन सी गाड़ी चलाता हूँ, तुम्हें क्या पता मैं हो सकता है करीब में ट्रेवल कर रहा हूँ। हमने कितनी दफा फरीदा और मैंने किया है, हमने करीम बुक किया है और पीछे बैठ के दरवाजे पे उतरे हैं, तो ड्राइवर को, वो सिक्योरिटी गार्ड को लग रहा था कि हमारी अपनी गाड़ी और ड्राइवर है, वो करीम वाला है, वो आगे से गली में घुमा चला गया। जब हम वापसी स्कूल से निकले तो पैदल जा रहे हैं, वो गार्ड भी हैरान है, यार अभी तो ये करोला में आए थे, ये अभी पैदल घर जा रहे हैं। So things like these, you need to understand this. Don't follow
Hmm.
everyone. Don't get inspired with everyone. And but हाँ, entrepreneurship का अपना मजा है, अपनी
Hmm.
liberty है. It has its own positive things, which I think we can discuss on any other forum, or in any other
Yeah.
journey, or they can ask us. तो ये तो that's true. But keep this in mind. Don't follow everyone and focus to your skills only, and then decide कि क्या करना है। जॉब पे जा रहे हो, wonderful. बिजनेस में जा रहे हो, वंडरफुल। आई ऑलवेज टेल स्टूडेंट्स के ये वाली बात के गुलामी है, ये अप्रोच ही उन फाउंडर्स और सीईओ को, तो सबसे पहले समझ जाओ कि ये रॉन्ग नंबर है, ये
हाँ,
बंदे को तुमने
failure ही
फॉलो
हुआ है।
करना ही नहीं। इसलिए
हाँ,
क्योंकि वो सीईओ, वो फाउंडर जिसके माइंड में ये है कि जॉब गुलामी है, तो सोचो कि उसके अपनी कंपनी में जो एम्प्लॉइज हैं वो उनको भी
वो भी
गुलामी
गुलाम है।
समझता होगा, बिकॉज वो भी
हम्म।
तो जॉब पर ही आए ना उसी कंपनी में। सो फॉर हिम और हर, दैट दोज एम्प्लॉइज आर स्लेव्स फॉर हिम, बिकॉज उसकी तो अप्रोच ही यही है कि जो शख्स जॉब करता है वो गुलामी करता है। तो दैट पर्सन, दैट बॉस कैन नॉट बी अ गुड लीडर। सो फरीदा और मेरी तो अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह ऐसी कोई सोच नहीं है। वी आर अ फ्रेंडली टीम एंड वी डोंट से दैट एनीथिंग स्लेवरी।
हम्म।
आप अपनी मर्जी का काम
even
कर रहे
our
हैं,
even our
उसके,
employees are our boss. We are not their
हाँ,
bosses.
एट टाइम्स दे आर आवर बॉस भाई, वो हमें बता देते हैं कि ये चीज आपने गलत किया, आप
गलत कर रहे
सीईओ
हैं आप।
वीओ नहीं है, आप ये सही करें इसको।
कमाल है आप लोगों की जर्नी और आप लोगों की जो आपस में अंडरस्टैंडिंग एंड द वे यू गाइस प्रेजेंट द ट्रूथ्स फ्रंट पे कुछ विदाउट फिल्टर्स इट्स अमेजिंग एंड आई लव
Thank you.
हाउ दिस इंटरव्यू हैज टर्न्ड इनटू अ कैंडिड मेंटोर सेशन अब जो भी मेरा कोई दोस्त वगैरह पूछेगा कि अच्छा यार क्या करना चाहिए I'm gonna lead them to the YouTube link of this video. Go watch it.
Thank
ऑनर।
you.
So,
So sweet.
thank you so much, guys. I think we're out of time. So, I love this
फॉर
discussion
इनवाइटिंग।
and I am honored to be part of this. I've learned a lot in the last hour and I hope to learn more from the both of you. I hope I can see you guys soon when COVID calms down. Thank
Inshallah.
you so much for your time and
Thank
I'm going
you.
to end this now. Okay.
थैंक
Thank
यू,
you.
थैंक यू फातिमा, जज़ाकल्लाह,
Thank
थैंक
you.
यू एवरीवन, अल्लाह
Allah
हाफिज।
Hafiz. Allah Hafiz.